Nottinghamshire Police, proud to serve and abuse you.
Disclaimer. All views expressed on this site are our own and do not represent the opinions of any entity whatsoever with which we have been, am now, or will be affiliated. Fair use. We might use copyrighted content that has not been authorized by the owner. We take no responsibility for the views expressed. Any advice given is privileged advice, and everything is to be used at your own risk. Errors and omissions. We take no responsibility or liability for any errors or omissions in the content of this video. The information contained in this video is provided on an as-is basis with no guarantees of completeness, accuracy, usefulness, or timeliness. No professional relationship is formed between us and our watchers. Public interest. Information and evidence provided is in the interest of the public. This company has been designed to expose corruption, educate the public and prevent abuse.
Hello everyone. Thank you for visiting our video. Our videos are based on a witch, who alienates a man from his child. This witch is a teacher that works for Broxtowe Primary School. We are going to give you a detailed insight of the corruption that goes on. Not only with the police but with teachers, hospitals, solicitors, social services, family court judges and any other business that gets in our way. If you are interested, hit the like and subscribe.
Come on daddy. I want to play with the sharks. I can see some really big sharks over there.
Okay son. Say hello to everyone watching us on the video. We are now going to go shark racing. Coming up is police being corrupt, as usual. Please enjoy our video.
On or around September 6, 2017, I filed a C-100 form to the courts for access to see my child.
On September 8, 2017, my child's mum reported me to the police for malicious communication. One day later, the officer in charge, PC 3625 Phillips, updated the police database to state, dispute between two parties over naming a child, no safeguarding concerns over the children at the address, malicious communication. From September 25, 2017 to October 1, 2017, the police made several attempts requesting me to go for a voluntary interview. This included several voicemails and texts sent to my work phone number.
One voicemail said that if I do not go to a voluntary interview, they will ring all of my clients and tell them exactly what I have allegedly done. I deemed this to be threatening, controlling, and abuse of power from the police. On the October 1, 2017 PC 3625 Phillips sent me a text message explaining that if I do not contact PC 3625 Phillips on the October 5, 2017, I will be added to the police national computer as wanted for arrest. He confirmed he has been harassing me when he sends me a text stating, "I have left multiple messages for you on this mobile number and I have left a note through your door to which you have not replied." Before we start the video, we are going to state a couple of facts. I am under no obligation to attend an interview. Nor am I obliged to speak to a police officer on my doorstep, or communicate with them by telephone or writing.
Using oppressive and coercive means to force me to attend such an interview against my will, and making threats of arrest or physical force if I do not attend, is a breach of Police Codes of Practice, Code G.
It is also an assault and harassment at civil law of which I am entitled to remedy via the county courts.
Such unconstitutional tactics also interfere with my Article 5 rights to liberty and security under the Human Rights Act 1998.
The purpose of this informal interview, or the nature of what you wish to discuss, has never been made clear. Should it involve allegations of a criminal nature, then I would suggest you find the necessary grounds to make an arrest. However, let me remind you that if you intend to arrest me for a summary offense, I am under no obligation to allow officers into my home unless they have a warrant as per Section 17 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984.
Any officers who arrive at my door making threats of forceful entry or attempt to induce an expectation of immediate force if I do not comply with their unlawful demands will be held liable for trespass and assault.
Trespass alone is a civil matter until it becomes an aggravated trespass, which is a criminal offense.
You must be doing 2 things to commit aggravated trespass. 1. Trespassing. 2. Intentionally obstructing, disrupting, or intimidating others from carrying out lawful activities.
Aggravated trespass is a crime under Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994.
Here are the house plans for the property in question. We have marked out the following. CCTV. Where the police have to walk to get to the back garden. Private property areas. Where the gates with locks are. Borders and fences.
The police had to go through 2 other gardens and unlock 3 gates to get to this garden.
Criminal damage is a crime under Section 1(1). Criminal Damage Act 1971.
A person who without lawful excuse destroys or damages any property belonging to another, intending to destroy or damage any such property, or being reckless as to whether any such property would be destroyed or damaged, shall be guilty of an offense.
The damage caused as a result of the offense does not have to be permanent. As long as the damage caused affects the value or performance of the property, this is sufficient to be classed as an act of criminal damage.
Harassment is both a criminal offense and a civil action under the Protection from Harassment Act 1997.
Harassment is unwanted behavior from someone else that makes you feel distressed, humiliated, or threatened.
Examples of harassment include unwanted phone calls, letters, emails, or visits. Damage to someone else's property. Maliciously and falsely reporting someone to the police without any wrongdoing.
1 text message does not count as harassment, even if it's intended to distress you. But 2 unanswered and unwanted text messages can be considered harassment. 1 text message and 1 phone call can also count as harassment.
Wasting police time is a criminal offense as outlined under Section 5(2) of the Criminal Law Act 1967.
If you are caught wasting police time, you could be jailed for up to 6 months and or fined.
Police wasting police time is fraud against everyone that pays tax.
The Police, Health and Safety Act 1997 made police officers employees for the purposes of health and safety legislation. The Health and Safety at Work Act 1974, HSWA, and the regulations made under it apply to all work activities.
This gave police officers the protection of health and safety law while they were at work.
Breach of the provisions of the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974, or a breach of health and safety regulations, is also a criminal offense for which an individual or company or both can be prosecuted in the criminal courts.
Human Rights Act 1998 states we have the right to respect for private and family life.
Everyone has the right to respect for his private and family life, his home, and his correspondence.
There shall be no interference by a public authority with the exercise of this right except such as is in accordance with the law and is necessary in a democratic society in the interests of national security, public safety, or the economic well-being of the country, for the prevention of disorder or crime, for the protection of health or morals, or for the protection of the rights and freedoms of others.
In our homes we have the right to do any lawful activity we see fit. Our children have the right to walk/crawl around naked in our house.
Any unlawful action from the police that breach our child's rights to privacy in our home is deemed as the police officers committing a sexual offense as per Sexual Offense Act 2003.
Police officers that unlawfully look through our letterboxes, climb through our windows and go onto our private property to look through our windows are deemed as sexual predators.
Summary of the Data Protection Act 1998.
The Data Protection Act 1998 is a piece of UK legislation that's designed to protect the privacy of personal data. It sets out the obligations that organizations currently have if they handle personal information. Although you may think that this only applies to larger companies, in fact most businesses hold some personal data, for example customer contact details, or HR information about staff. If you do use or store personal information, and this information relates to someone that can be identified, you are referred to in the Act as a data controller.
It states the following. Personal data must be processed fairly and lawfully.
Personal data must be processed for specified lawful purposes.
Personal data must be adequate, relevant, and not excessive.
Personal data must be accurate and up to date.
Personal data must not be kept for any longer than is necessary.
Personal data must be processed in accordance with the rights of individuals.
Personal data must be kept secure.
Personal data must not be transferred outside the European Economic Area without adequate protection.
Police professional standards are as follows.
Honesty and integrity. I will be honest and act with integrity at all times, and will not compromise or abuse my position.
Authority, respect, and courtesy. I will act with self-control and tolerance, treating members of the public and colleagues with respect and courtesy. I will use my powers and authority lawfully and proportionately, and will respect the rights of all individuals.
Equality and diversity. I will act with fairness and impartiality. I will not discriminate unlawfully or unfairly.
Use of force. I will only use force as part of my role and responsibilities, and only to the extent that it is necessary, proportionate, and reasonable in all the circumstances.
Orders and instructions. I will, as a police officer, give and carry out lawful orders only, and will abide by police regulations. I will give reasonable instructions only, and will follow all reasonable instructions.
Duties and responsibilities. I will be diligent in the exercise of my duties and responsibilities.
Confidentiality. I will treat information with respect and access, or disclose it only in the proper course of my duties.
Fitness for work. I will ensure, when on duty or at work, that I am fit to carry out my responsibilities.
Conduct. I will behave in a manner, whether on or off duty, which does not bring discredit on the police service or undermine public confidence in policing.
Challenging and reporting improper behavior. I will report, challenge or take action against the conduct of colleagues which has fallen below the standards of professional behavior.
And most importantly, the oath to the Queen.
I, name, of, police force, do solemnly and sincerely declare and affirm that I will well and truly serve the Queen in the office of constable, with fairness, integrity, diligence, and impartiality, upholding fundamental human rights and according equal respect to all people, and that I will, to the best of my power, cause the peace to be kept and preserved and prevent all offences against people and property, and that while I continue to hold the said office I will to the best of my skill and knowledge discharge all the duties thereof faithfully according to law. At 8:20 on the October 5, 2017, PC 3625 Chris Phillips along with his gang of 5 police officers arrived at my property.
He was so excited to see me, he couldn't help but speed down my road in anticipation that he would get me back for ignoring his request for a voluntary interview.
Look at how eager he is to see me. He's ordered his gang to go around the back of my property in case I wanted to play kiss chase with him.
Instead of him going to the door and knocking on it like any normal person would, he attempted to violate my privacy by looking through the window first.
He has noticed that my window is closed but unlocked. He has therefore ordered another gang member to investigate. Curtains are closed but window is open.
He shouts result. I will enter his property through this window if he does not answer.
Let's check his bin. Maybe he is hiding in the bin. It's not uncommon for people to play kiss chase and hide in bins. Nope, he's not in there.
Now let's knock to the rhythm of my favorite song.
Still no answer. Let's recheck the bin. He might have sneaked into the bin whilst I was listening to S Club 7.
Nope, still not in there.
Let's try opening the door and look through the letterbox, you never know. I might get lucky and get to perv on some naked children. Gutted, can't see any naked children.
I'm not happy, using my hand to knock on the door isn't loud enough. I am now going to use a metal tool to attempt to damage his door.
I told him I was going to harass him if he doesn't contact me. Go on female gang member. Start knocking on his neighbors' doors and tell them what he has allegedly done. We don't care if this destroys his business reputation.
I love perving on people, my favorite is children, but anyone naked is fine with me. This is why I have a secret camera. So, I can take indecent images and the police will never find out.
Go on, female gang member. Keep knocking on all of his neighbors' doors and tell them what he has allegedly done. We don't care if this destroys his business reputation.
Oh, let's try the door handle again. I best just knock with my hand this time. Some of the neighbors might come out.
Sorry, gang boss, the neighbors are not answering. Right, I'm getting my computer out. I'm going to troll him online. That will show him.
Oh, I've just watched my gang boss knock on the door with no answer. But let's just carry on.
It's strange how the police say they have no time to investigate real crimes, but they have time to bring 6 police officers to my property for an alleged crime that was reported nearly 1 month before. My right to access of my personal data does not mention anything apart from malicious communication, but it also states no safeguarding concerns. They used 4 police cars to get here and they are now standing around doing nothing, apart from abusing my property and trying to destroy my business reputation. They have traveled all the way from Nottinghamshire to Derbyshire to deal with this matter, despite there being a Derbyshire police station just 3 minutes away from my house. They have wasted around 4 hours of taxpayers' money along with costs of cars and others. It's very clear that us taxpayers are paying these piglets to mess around. How the hell did their manager agree for them to do this? They are all guilty of wasting police time.
Whilst we are waiting for the police to do something. Fun fact. The blonde-haired police officer on the left. I met him the following day outside Broxtowe police station. I asked him if he enjoyed attempting to break into my house. He openly said that it wasn't him, and he wasn't anywhere near my property. The cock is right in front of us right now. But I think he was more interested in chatting up my solicitor whilst he was getting paid to do a job. Just type in hashtag I'm a cock who thinks the women love me. He will come up in first place. Let's try the door again with a tool in my hand, so I can attempt to damage his door. You never know, he might have teleported back into his house.
Nope, he hasn't teleported back. You should really check the bin again, he might be in there now.
I think I have magic gloves on. Let me try the door, it might be open now. Nope, I think my magic gloves might need recharging.
I have a text. Maybe it's one of the long lists of women he's texting. How does he keep up?
Okay, I'm now going to harass his neighbor again. Someone's got to pay for me standing out in this cold weather. Maybe I can charge my magic gloves up inside.
It's very clear that these officers keep attempting my door handle to intentionally attempt to damage it. If it's not open the first time they tried, why do they keep trying? He's still texting. Looks like he needs help with his spelling. They are all on their phones. Can you believe we pay these police officers to stand around and text all day?
Harassing the next door neighbor again. If they didn't answer the first time, why are they going to answer now? Now they are ringing my phone. If I didn't answer the first time, why would I answer now? It's very clear that I am not going for a voluntary interview as I have done nothing wrong. Look at the pleb trying to hear my phone from the door.
Another police officer attempting to harass my neighbors again. I think they are trying to annoy the whole street with the attentions to destroy my business reputation. Now this pleb has got his keys out with the intention to damage my door. What a tool. This boy is starting to get on my nerves. Looks like we will be investigating him next. So now the police have actually got one of my neighbors out and he is talking about me. We are adding this prick to the list of corrupt officers to investigate.
Ringing my phone again. If I didn't answer the first time, why would I answer now? Look at the plebs trying to hear my phone. Now my neighbor has come out. This isn't good for business.
Fun fact. We researched PC 3625 Phillips and in 5 minutes we found out a lot about him. We found a lot of images on him and have even spoken to people he knows. Both his family and family-in-laws have refused to comment on Phillips' behavior and have removed themselves from Facebook or removed any comments. We even had one of his family members contact us and leave a voicemail. We returned the call but no response. The most shocking images we found was Phillips' children in their school uniform. You would expect police officers to understand the meaning of safeguarding your children, right? Especially when you're hated for your corruption.
Hey, we have missing bits on the CCTV due to the police officers being outside the motion areas. But whilst we wait for the CCTV to come back, let's have a fun fact.
Whilst speaking to some of Phillips' friends/associates, they alleged that Chris Phillips was a little pervy at school. One person alleged that Chris had sexual activity with someone under the age of consent. It's not uncommon for people to have sexual activity whilst under the age of 16, and in fact most women lose their virginity before 16. But it is illegal when you are over the age of consent and you are having sexual activity with someone under the age of consent. It is more concerning when this person is a police officer.
We have several concerns with PC 3625 Phillips which are all going to be addressed in our videos, but for now we are unsure why this man decides it's acceptable to breach our rights for privacy. He has no evidence to support that there are not any children at this house. He has no evidence to support who actually was at this house on this day. Yet he has decided on his own back and without a warrant, to remove these victims' privacy. He has no lawful reason for this, and by doing so, we can only assume he is attempting to try to see our children naked. What further supports our suspicion is that fact that he has this untraceable camera. And the fact that it looks like he has a semi whilst holding hands with these children.
No one's looking, so I'm going to be a perv and see if I can see naked children in the house. Looks like this woman is a pervert too.
Harassing another neighbor. They are clearly doing what Phillips said he was going to do on voicemail.
Come on daddy, you're getting slow in your old age.
Son, don't you worry about me, you need to worry about the shark behind you.
I've got this, I'm too fast. I've had enough. I'm going to enter his house through the window and plant some illegal activity into his house. Once I've planted it, we can arrest him for real crimes. If children are in this property, I'm going to have sexual activity with them.
My team of gang members will assist with my criminal activity and they will even laugh whilst they are doing it.
Hold the bin for me. I know wheelie bin lids do not support my weight, but I don't care.
I really want to see naked children. Come on children, come to me. I want to see you. I want to get my untraceable camera out and take pictures of you. Please children, I will give you sweets.
Gang members, just look like we are doing nothing wrong. Get excited, we might be able to get in the property soon and plant illegal activity and touch up children.
Come on PC 3625 Phillips, please try and get in. We want to stitch this man up for crimes he hasn't committed. We want to touch the children up and go through all his personal belongings.
I'm sorry guys, I can't get into the property. There is a big drop the other side and I'm scared I might break my little childlike body.
I've opened the curtains for you so you can now see in.
My claw-like reaction is demonstrating my jealous behavior for the big TV he has on the wall.
I can't close the window. I never have this problem when I enter other people's property. What shall I do?
Let's just hit the window back into shape. Fuck him, We will just destroy his property even more. Who cares? He will put a complaint in and the police will protect me. We are all dodgy corrupt twats as it is.
I've broke his bin lid. Who cares? Fuck him.
Let's try and break his door handle now. Fuck him.
Well, it looks like PC 3625 Phillips didn't get to kiss me. He will be upset, but hopefully he will disappear.
Unfortunately, due to this behavior, I had no other option than to go for a voluntary interview with PC 3625 Phillips. I got my solicitor to arrange this and we went to see him one day later. Don't worry though guys, he royally fucks me over in the interview and abuses my police file, which helped family court stop me seeing my only child. Good thing for you guys is, part 2 will be giving you full access to this interview.
We put a complaint in against PC 3625 Phillips and it seems he gets a promotion. Who said crime doesn't pay?
I think for me the skill set, a challenge, new start, different level of skills. It's quite a fine tuned area, so just challenging myself to a different area, and the exciting part of it is being able to go out across the county, constantly learning and developing on the stuff that they're teaching you. There's never going to be a dull moment, I don't think. There's been loads taken on board already. We've done loads of stuff with some other dogs that we've got that are sort of partially trained, and some tracking and bite work, and it's been good just to get an idea of what expectations the trainers have got and get to know them as well, really.
Before we finish up, let's just quickly look around the back. See what corrupt stuff these guys have been up to.
Trespassing and perving. You usually hear this on the news with the words sex offender next to it, right?
They have noticed the camera. Smile you plebs, you're on TV.
Doesn't look like it bothers this guy. He's now banging on both my windows. Windows are not made for knocking. I'm unsure why these tools think they are.
Lock up your children, all these police officers are sexual predators. Maybe this is why the grooming gangs never get caught. It's probably because they are run by police officers. The main sexual predator is back. They have informed him I have CCTV, maybe they are telling him to stop perving.
Nope, they are doing it even more. The prick's got his tool out again and is knocking on my window with it.
No one's privacy is safe when police officers are around.
He's such a tool. Maybe we will go to this police officer's house and do the same. Email us if you don't want us to.
Wow, now he's looking at the reason I got CCTV in the first place. Guess what? You ring the police to report crime, no one shows up. A woman reports allegations and this is what you get.
How many times do you have to try a locked door?
These guys are definitely in a grooming gang.
Well guys, further to the reason I got the CCTV in the first place. Have a look at this preview of criminal behavior just a couple of days after I got my CCTV installed. If you want a follow-up video on this, please let us know. The police say they had insufficient evidence for this crime. Yes, that's a tap. You turn on for water.
On the October 5, 2017 at 10:17, over 1 hour after leaving this property, PC 3625 Phillips entered on the police database. I have sent BK Corruption a text message advising that failure to contact me by October 5, 2017 will result in him being circulated.
As you will see at the beginning of this video, these messages were sent days before. Why hasn't PC 3625 Phillips updated the police database at the time? Maybe he has used my private number from the police database to contact me on his private number? The worrying thing is, he isn't logging his behavior on the police system at the time of event. This is how these corrupt officers get away with abusing the public.
He has therefore gone on to update the database again at the same time stating, the day shift of BPS attended BK Corruption's address at 8:15 hours today and after multiple efforts it was NRTK, no reply to knocking, further calls to BK Corruption and his mobile was off. BK Corruption now to be circulated for harassment, fear of violence. It's astonishing how the police believe their corrupt behavior is no reply to knocking. When the police tape and murder us, do they update the police database to say role-playing or horseplay? God knows, but what we do know is that this behavior from these corrupt police officers is not, no reply to knocking.
There is no additional information or evidence to support that I am fear of violence. The police have already deemed this as no safeguarding concerns and classed this as malicious communication. It seems PC Twat didn't like the fact I refused to communicate with him and he has therefore gone on to attempt to abuse me even further.
PC 3625 has updated my personal police file incorrectly and by doing so, he has breached the Data Protection Act. Generally, I don't care what the police put on my police files, I have around 300 pages of bullshit and lies on my police database, and for years, I've known the police to lie, abuse, and do anything they can to get a result. Every time someone makes an allegation about you, it's put on your police file. Even with no evidence or with no investigation, these allegations sit on your personal file. It only becomes a concern when you have a child. All of these alleged crimes go onto your child's social services database. If you have to go to family court, the police will pass your personal police file onto CAFCAS and the family court and without your consent. CAFCAS and family court believe everything the police say. CAFCAS work on a guilty until proven innocent policy, but then, when you prove yourself innocent, CAFCAS doesn't want to know, they believe the police do nothing wrong. From the police's way of working, we have done the same. Please check out bkcorruption.co.uk/wanted. You will see a full list of alleged corruption we believe these people or businesses have done. We don't need to prove them guilty or innocent, we will just keep this information on their file for 99 plus years, similar to what the police do to us. Let's see how they fucking like it.
Due to Broxtowe police attempting to murder me, will be in a later video, I had no choice but to start putting in complaints against the police.
Detective Sergeant 651 Ged Hazelwood responded. He denies forcing your window in October 2017 and claims it was already open. Your CCTV stills do not contradict this. He can't recall standing on your bin but accepts he may have done. He has no recollection of any damage and your stills do not evidence damage. The police are allowed to behave in this way when attempting to arrest someone and it's not relevant as to whether or not someone is circulated. The grounds for your arrest existed. In terms of laughter and general behavior you felt was inappropriate, he cannot recall it. I find that his behavior at your home that day and in relation to any messages he sent you prior to this as being reasonable. When the police need to speak to someone under caution, they are allowed to repeatedly message them.
I sent this information to the Independent Office for Police Conduct, IOPC. I was expecting this company to be as bad as the police. The letter dated September 30, 2020 states that they have in fact upheld a lot of my complaints and state in summary.
I have concluded that the outcome of some of your complaints was not reasonable and proportionate, therefore, your review is upheld and I have determined that it is necessary for complaint number 1, complaint number 2, complaint number 3, complaint number 8, complaint number 9, and complaint number 10 to be investigated.
Nottinghamshire Police are meant to investigate this matter and provide me a response within 28 days. It's now April 11, 2021 and I still have not received any response from Nottinghamshire Police. It's very likely the police will do what they do best. Cover up the corruption and ignore the investigation. Unfortunately for them, BK corruption is now born, and their behavior will soon be exposed.
Hello Earthlings. Our good friend, your Queen, has set standard laws, rules, acts, and regulations for you all to follow. It seems the Queen has set up a standard service charge where you pay tax and the government share this money between organizations. The police are paid to protect the public and to uphold the Queen's laws, rules, acts, and regulations. The Queen treats everyone the same, no matter of their job titles or responsibilities. The police have no say, nor do they have any right in changing laws, rules, acts, or regulations. Yet, it seems that the Detective Sergeant 651 Ged Hazelwood who is representing the Nottinghamshire Police has confirmed the following. Criminal damage, harassment, aggravated trespass, wasting police time and perving on children is no longer a crime. Breaching the Health and Safety Act, Human Rights Act and Data Protection Act is no longer acts that are upheld on your planet. The oath to the Queen means nothing. And the police professional standards are there to be ignored. This detective has confirmed this when he has confirmed that PC 3625 Phillips acted reasonable within the CCTV footage.
We strongly disagree with the police's behavior. These police officers have committed crimes and breached acts, the police are covering up these crimes. There is no doubt in our minds that the police have been acting this way for a long time and been getting away with it.
The problem is, we believe it is a crime to fund illegal activity, and it seems you, as taxpayers, are funding these crimes. It seems, you are the individuals that are paying these criminals to abuse the public. It seems you go online, complain and moan about these police officers, but in fact, you are the very people that are funding this criminal activity. One by one, these police officers will abuse you, lie to you, murder you, but you carry on paying for the privilege.
The only people on your earth that isn't funding this behavior is the homeless. This is because they do not pay tax or buy their own food.
The question is, why are you funding this behavior? The Queen doesn't want you funding this criminal activity, so why are you doing it?
Well, until you all work together, put your feet down and say we are no longer funding the police. Nothing will change, the police gang will only get worse and worse.
But for now, we are here for the victims at BK corruption. So here goes. Here are the 6 corrupt officers. Please go to our wanted page and check the list of corruption we are saying you have done. This is us giving you 2 months notice to provide us with a video response to why you believe you acted reasonable and why you are not corrupt. After this date we will deem your non-response as a no-comment interview. No-comment interviews are now used by the police as an admission of guilt.
If we do not hear from you, no need to worry, we have left you a video clip that sums you up very nicely.
You're gonna see me fucking deal with you in hell, you cunts!